So I know today's Mother's Day. Now, I just want everyone to, I guess, take a moment to remember what that means to them. And I know it might be a different experience for different people depending on what you understand motherhood to be. So one thing I wanted to just chat about that I learned this week was there was a post I saw, and it was telling me that all the eggs a woman will ever have in her body are formed while she's a fetus in her own mother. So really, we existed in the womb of our grandmother. And I thought that was a really incredible, I guess, discovery. Similarly, our grandchildren will exist in us if we have children, girls. But I think we all have a feminine energy inside us, and today's an opportunity, I guess you can channel that. But today's class, we're going to be doing just the basics of our standing poses. I think it's a great way to start if you haven't been doing a lot of yoga recently. And for me, it really just strips everything back and reminds me that all of the extra layers that we put on top of things to make it seemingly better, if you strip it back right down to the core, there's something unique and special about that as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I've got my phone on me. There's really loud magpies that my mum has made friends with. So usually in the morning she feeds them. So this is my first morning class. So I think they're a bit like hungry. So if you hear them or you can't hear me, someone please just text me because I have my phone on me. But otherwise, I'm going to get you to start in a comfortable seat. So you find your seat, and when you're ready, I'll get you to press play on the playlist. And I've got headphones in just so I can hear it at the same time. So take a moment, close over your eyes. And we're just going to start with a few breath exercises. I want you to take your hands and bring your index finger and your thumb together and place them palm down on your knees today. Again, let me know if I'm being too soft and you can't hear. So take a few deep inhales, exhale. And just take a moment to connect with your breath. Your breath is our life force and is often something that we take for granted. We begin to turn our attention, we're shifting it from the outer world to our inner world. If your eyes are not closed over already, please close them over. And as we inhale, I'd like you to imagine your breath going all the way down your back, in your spine, down to the base, and perhaps further into the earth. And as we exhale, the breath is released all the way back up the spine and up through the crown of our head. The pace belongs to you. It's your breath. And just feel free to notice if there's parts where it feels stuck. Without judgment, without expectation of a perfect breath, whatever that might look like to you. There is no such. When we allow ourselves these moments of stillness, we are spending time with ourselves. And I hope to help you find the beauty in that connection with yourself. Bring your hands to heart center in prayer pose. Prayer pose is a really beautiful pose. It's actually showing us that we need equal strength between our right and our left side, between our yin and our yang, our heat and our coolness, or our light and our dark. So it shows us the contrast that's required to create whole. With equal pressure pushing in both of your hands, I'd like you to set an intention for today's class. And that means whatever it is to you. Bow your head to your heart center. And we'll begin in the asana or child's pose. So I'd like you to make your way with your knees out wide on your mat. Your big toes are touching and we're going to fold over. So our hips are on our heels and we walk our arms out. Head comes down, aiming to get our ears in line with our upper arms. But Balasana or child's pose is an active pose, so our arms are still extending, they're reaching, but our hips are lowering. Our lower half of our body is heavy on the earth. And with your next inhale, we're going to come up, bring our knees together. And we're just going to open up the heart for a minute. So grab your hands, intertwine them at the base of your spine. And we're going to pull them back so that our chest opens up in front of us. I think a lot of the time we forget that we can physically shift how we feel. Just by moving our bodies in certain ways, we can shift anything that we're holding on to, any feelings that aren't serving us. So our heart openers like this help us remain vulnerable and loving and open up our airways for breath. Exhale, we're going to come to a tabletop. So we're stacking our wrists under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. Our feet are flat on the earth. And as we inhale, we're going to drop the belly, lift the tailbone, and shine our heart forward. So it's not just up, it's forward and up. Exhale, suctioning the stomach, lowering the tailbone, and pressing the earth away with your shoulders. Cow. Sorry, this is cat. Inhale, drop the belly, open up the heart space to the front of your mat. Exhale, suctioning that stomach up, rounding your back. We're creating an even roundness in our spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. And we're going to do 3 more like this at your own pace with your breath. You might be a bit faster, that's okay. Maybe a bit slower, but the point of this is to wake up our spine. In yoga, a lot of what we get out of it is based on what we put into it. You can't push your way through yoga. We have to meet ourselves where we're at. And at your last breath, we'll meet back in tabletop. We're going to move into our cat-cow. The tabletop, working to get a straight spine, stomach is engaged. Find your central channel. Extend your left leg out behind you, and our feet are as if we're pressing into a wall behind us. We're not extending our leg up, we're not kicking back the head. It's a straight line, our spine all the way to our heel. When you find your balance, we raise our right hand to the sky, palm facing in towards our hand. Engage your core. Use what's on the earth to ground you. Inhale, we're bringing the knee and the elbow in together, squeezing in as tight as we can. Exhale, straight back out. Engage that back leg. And go again. Inhale, squeezing in. Really touching. How close can you squeeze? Exhale, straight back out. Again, remember, this is up to you how deep you go. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, out. 2 more. In we go. Exhale, straight back out. Really engage that back leg. Inhale, squeeze. Straight back out. We're waking up the fire within us. Exhale, lowering the hand and the knee back to the earth. Great work, you guys. Take a moment, find your breath. We always come back to our breath. And when you find your balance, we're going to extend the right leg behind us. Again, as if we're pressing into a wall. And inhale, up comes the left arm. Find your core, turn it on. Inhale, squeezing together. Focusing on that inward movement. Exhale, straight back out. I think a lot of people have been doing inhale, touching. A lot of people have been doing a lot of expanding in this period. Exhale, straight back out. Inhale, touching. Exhale, straight back out. Today, I want us to be focusing, keep going, on what that feeling is to strip everything back and find what's inside, and what stays there regardless of your change. Beautiful. 1 more, you guys. And release down to the ground. Beautiful work. Tuck your toes. Lower down onto your heels. This is just a variation of child's pose. Find your breath as we begin to wake up. Happy Sunday. So we're going to walk out back to tabletop. Walk your hands a little bit in front of your shoulders so it's not a straight line. We're going to tuck our toes and lift our hips to the sky. This is our first downward facing dog. Now, in this pose, we're working for our tailbone to be the tip of our triangle. So we're working, you press your hips back. If your legs are not straight, that is so okay. The most important part of this pose are your hips. So we're working to try and get even energy between the top half and lower half of our body. When we find that space, it becomes lighter. But for now, we must stay awake with all of our muscles and work out where can we find comfort in this pose. 4 breaths here, you guys. This is your practice today, so I want you to try and take what you need from it. Next, inhale, we're going to bend our knees, look to our hands, and slowly step our feet in. You keep bending your knees while your hands are connected to the mat or the earth, and you keep them there until you get all the way up to your hands. Inhale, we're going to halfway lift, working to get a straight spine. Hands can come to shins or to knees, wherever you're at, as long as the spine is straight and extended. Exhale, forward fold. Your feet are hip width distance apart. In our forward fold, please bend your knees if you need to, working to fold over our stomach, over onto our thighs. Crown of our head to the floor. This is the start of our inversions. I want you to grab opposite elbows here and release them over your head and just rock back and forth, opening up your back. Engage the core and use your feet. There's usually a sensation of wanting to shift forward. Use your feet, monkey grip them into the ground, and they'll help you stay standing. Exhale, release the hands. And inhale, we're going to rise up slowly all the way. Arms come up out wide and up above your head to the sky. Hands come together, lowering down to heart center. And we're going to run through our first sun salutation. So hands are together. Good job, you guys. Let's take a moment to notice this pose, Tadasana, the first and base of all poses, our standing pose. Our feet are going to come together. Just the toes, right? The heels are a little bit separated. I don't know if you can see that, maybe here. The heels are a little separated. Lift your feet, your toes off the mat. And when you place, spread them out, and then place them back down like that. So we've got this monkey grip happening. Suction the floor, so you're lifting the inner arches of your heels. That's just your feet. So this pose has a lot of intelligence behind us. For now, I want you to focus on those feet. Lift up your thigh bones, engage the core. And again, arms rise up with your inhale, all the way to the sky. You can look to your hands if you want to. Exhale, we're going to fold all the way forward. We're going to separate our feet again to hip-width distance apart. So we're in our forward fold or Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, so flat spine. Hands come to shins if you need. Exhale, bend your knees, place your hands on the ground, and we're going to step back into our high plank. Our high plank, for your alignment, I want you to try and feel your feet. Once again, the base of our poses, the balls of our feet are directly underneath our heels. So our heels shouldn't be back like this. We're working to get them directly on top of each other. Engage your core. We create one straight channel from our heels all the way to the crown of our head. Press the earth away. Keep it going. Inhale, shifting your weight forward. And exhale, lowering down for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, our chaturanga. Untuck your toes to the top of your feet and now on the mat. Hands come to the side of your rib cage. Magnetize the elbows together and lift the chest forward. This is cobra pose. Exhale, press the earth away. Lift up the hips, untuck the toes, and we're in downward facing dog yet again. 5 breaths here. So we take a moment in our down dog to come back to ourselves. Lots of thoughts may have just come up even in that first sun salutation. So our down dog lets us cleanse that. Connect back with our breath and quiet the mind. Engage the core. So we're suctioning the core up like we do in our cat pose. This will help your hips lift higher. Inhale, look to your hands, bend your knees. And again, keep your hands connected to the earth as we step up to our hands. Exhale, forward fold. Suctioning the stomach. Working to get our hips in line with our heels. So they're not back like this. We want them in line. Inhale, halfway lift, opening up the spine. Exhale, forward fold again. Feel free to move your hands about. If it feels comfortable to place them behind your shins and pull yourself in a little, that is up to you. Like, keep your legs engaged. Those feet are still in your monkey grip. Inhale, slowly rise up. Hands come out wide and up to the sky. Exhale, hands together, meeting at heart center. Feel free to close your eyes over as we again connect into Tadasana. Bring your feet together, your big toes to touch, your heels are a little separated. Lift the toes, spread them, place them back down and suction up. Engage the legs. And as we inhale and rise our hands to the sky, I want you to keep your ribs soft. They're not lifting and spreading up with your hands. We keep our core engaged and we have one central channel line. Reach for the sky, our arms are active. And exhale, hands come to heart center. We fold all the way over. And as we separate our feet, I want you to feel the energy move through you. And what feels different when you're standing straight into Tadasana versus forward folding? Half of your body is now the other direction. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor, and we step back. Try and use the other leg this time to step back. If not, we'll do it again next time. Find your central channel again in Tadasana, in our high plank. Connect with your breath. Don't forget to breathe. We're going to shift forward. And here we're going to lower down for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Untuck the toes. Magnetize the elbows. And your body is coming up and forward, not just up. It's up to you how tight you squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, pressing the earth away. Lift the hips. Downward dog. And here we meet again. We're going to go through one more sun salutation. I'm going to cue it a bit less, just to give you guys space to feel it. Suction in your stomach while you're here. Inhale, look to your hands. We're going to step up. Exhale, forward fold. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift. With flat back, again, hands on shins. We want our hands connected to something. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Arms come up. Keep your shoulder blades tucked in as you rise up. We're not spreading them like an eagle. But our arms are active. Exhale, hands come together at heart center. And we'll go through one more sun salutation. We meet in down dog. Inhale, focus on the breath. Arms rise up. Exhale, keep that core engaged. Fold, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Opening up the spine. And release down, forward fold. Hands come down onto the mat, bend our knees, step back with your other foot. All about creating balance in your body. Set up your plank. Press the earth away, shift the weight forward, and we slowly lower down for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. When we lower down, I'll just tell you now, we're trying not to spread our elbows, right? So you keep them engaged as if you're about to go into cobra, because you are. So cobra, inhale, shifting your chest forward and up, magnetizing the elbows. Really plant those feet at the back onto the mat. And exhale, pressing the earth away, lifting the hips. Untuck the toes. Down dog. And so those were sun salutations. They pay homage to what the sun does for us each morning, every day rising and falling, and giving us life. Feel free to play a bit in your down dog, so we pedal our feet out. Pedal out. Keep that core engaged, suctioning up. Working for the tailbone to be the point of your triangle. I want you to look up. We're going to bring our feet together at the back of the mat. Lift your left leg to the sky, three-legged down dog. Our feet are, again, it's as if there's a wall on top of us and we're pressing into it. So engaging your hamstrings, but keeping your foot flexed as if you are pressing into a wall. So a wall that's up and back. Inhale, tuck that leg in. Knee comes to elbow. And we're going to place that foot down next to our left hand. Inhale, bring that right foot up to meet the left. Big toes come together with a slight part in your heels. We're going to go into chair pose at Utkatasana. This is the beginning of Sun Salutation B. Okay, so we've just done A, we're going into B. Big toes come together. I want you to bend your legs, scrape the mat behind you, your hands behind you, sorry. Inhale, scrape the mat. Arms are going to come forward and all the way up. Exhale, sit down into your chair. Utkatasana. I want you to make sure your knees are further back from your toes. You can still see your toes. Engage the core, tuck the tailbone down. I don't want us splaying our hips like this, so tuck it down, engage the core. Exhale, forward fold. Releasing the legs. Utkatasana. She teaches us a lot. Again, I want you to start with your feet this time. Right? Lift the feet, spread the toes, place them down. Lift the inner arches of your feet. We're going to exhale, bend the knees. Arms come back behind you. Inhale, scrape the mat, up they come all the way, back into chair. Exhale, sit down. Arms are extending up in line with your ears. Engage the core. How low can you get your seat? Exhale, forward fold, you guys. Nice work. I'm going to do one more of her. They say that the poses we struggle with the most are the ones we should lean into. Is this one for you? Because it was always one for me. Big toes are touching. Heels are a little separated. When we come up this time, pay attention to your knees. I want you to be able to fit a thin piece of paper in between them, so they're not squeezing tight together, but they're engaged. Exhale, lowering your knees. Arms come out behind you. Inhale, scrape the mat. Arms come up. Exhale, sit back down. Use your feet. Use your glutes. Can you fit that paper in between your knees? Reaching up. Inhale, lift your body higher. Exhale, sink lower. 3 more breaths. And exhale, forward fold. Amazing. If you want, you can take a big exhale, open your mouth, release that fire. Inhale, halfway lift, hands comes to shin. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms come out wide. Hands come to heart center, and back we are in Tadasana. We're going to go again. Inhale, arms come out wide. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step back, high plank. Balls of feet stacked under your heels. One central channel. Shift the weight forward. Magnetize those elbows in as we lower down. They should scrape your ribs. Untuck the toes. Inhale, shift forward and up. Use your legs. We're extending behind us as well as in front. Exhale. Pressing the earth away, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet and come back to your breath. Inhale, feet come together at the back of the mat. Right leg rises to the sky. Same principles. Same principles. We've got our toes are pointing down to the earth. We're pressing as if there's a wall behind us. And inhale, bring that knee in. Tap that elbow and place that right leg down. Bring the left leg up to meet the right. You know where we're going. Big toes touch, knees a little separated. Exhale, sit down. Hands come out behind you. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, sit back down. Utkatasana. Pay attention to the chitta chatter of your mind in this pose. Exhale, forward fold. Take a moment. There's more to you than sensory pain. Exhale, bend the knees, arms come out behind you. Inhale, scrape the mat. Arms rise up. Chair pose. With each inhale, I want you to see if you can lift your upper body up. Whether that means you lose a bit in your legs, that's okay. And exhale, lower down. Exhale, fold forward. You're doing great, you guys. One more. See how deep you can dig. What lies under that pain? Exhale, arms come behind you. Inhale, scrape the mat, up they go. Exhale, sit back down. There is more in this than that layer of pain. Tuck the tailbone. Exhale, forward fold. Amazing, take a moment. Open the feet out so they are hip-width distance apart. If you want, take a moment to shake the thighs. Maybe they can bend. Exhale, forward fold. Find some still. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we're gonna rise all the way up. All the way. Arms come up, soften the ribs. Keep those shoulder blades down. And exhale, lowering the hands to the heart center. Beautiful. Find your feet once more, bring them together. Lift the toes, spread them. Place them down, suction that mat. Engage the core as we inhale up, keeping everything in place, finding equilibrium. Exhale, hands come together, lowering all the way down. Uttanasana. Feet come back out, so they are hip-width distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Step back into our high plank. I want you to just sit here for a sec. Press the earth away and set up your wrists, okay? So with our wrists, I want the crease to be parallel to the top of your mat. So you might have to move your arms around a bit, but our upper arms are actually wrapping out and in as we press the earth away. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower down. Elbows close to your ribs. All the way down. Good job, you guys. Untuck the toes. Shift the weight forward and up. Magnetize those elbows like there's a string. And exhale, press the earth away. Untuck the toes. Down dog. This is your practice, my friends, to find yourself here. Take a moment to sit with yourself. Inhale, both your feet at the back of the mat, come together, big toes touching. Exhale, left leg rises to the sky. Inhale, tuck that knee in. Place it next to your left hand. Bring that back foot in. So it's at a 45-degree angle. So it's facing the top left-hand corner of your mat. Press in with the outer edge. So the knife edge of your back foot is engaged. The front leg is in a 90-degree angle. And when you feel steady, your feet are monkey gripping. We're gonna rise our arms up. Warrior one. Hips, if you want, you can place your hands on your hips. Hips are square to the front of the mat as much as we can. Okay, your foot, if it's not at a 45-degree angle, your back foot, it's okay to be a little bit further open, but we're working to get that 45-degree angle. Front leg is at that 90 degrees, and arms rise up. So the top half of our body is still in Tadasana. Arms extend above us, reaching for the sky as our feet plant deeper into the earth. Engage that core, working to tuck the tailbone so we're not splaying open our ribs and our belly. Keep that squeezed in. Beautiful warrior, you guys. When you do exhale, I want you to spin that back leg so the foot is parallel to the back of the mat. And we're opening up to warrior two. So our arms now extend out either side of us. Our back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. You might need to walk it out a little bit depending on your hips. And we sink further in to that front leg. Arms are extending, reaching out. Warrior two is a beautiful pose for me. Warrior two talks about the idea that we sit in the present while we have one hand placed in the past and one in the future. And we gaze gently into the future. So we gaze just in front of our front hand. Use the back edge of your back leg to really anchor you in. We wrap the top thigh of the back leg in. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll find you some more cues in a sec. And exhale, we're going to cartwheel the hands back down to frame the front foot. The back foot sets up for our high plank. So our front left foot now comes back to meet the right, and we're in plank. Engage the core. Beautiful work. Exhale, shifting the weight forward. Tuck the elbows lower down. Chaturanga. Untuck the toes. Magnetize those elbows up and forward. Cobra pose. Exhale. Engage the belly, lift the hips. Untuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Notice where your breath might sit now compared to where it was at the beginning. Big toes come together at the back of the mat. Right leg this time lifts to the sky. Engage that leg. One central channel. If you want a little bit more of a lift, you can bend the left leg. And that usually lifts your hips a little higher. Inhale, bend the knee. Bring it to tap the elbow, your right elbow, and place that right leg down. Bring up that back leg just a little. So there's almost like 1 meter in between your feet. The back leg is at a 45-degree angle. And your feet alignment can be hip width distance apart, or the traditional is heel to heel. So heels are in line with each other, but balance can make that difficult. So start hip width distance. Plant your feet in, just like Tadasana. Inhale, arms rise up. Warrior one. Virabhadrasana one. Work to get that 90 degrees in the front leg. Pay attention to that outer back leg. Plant your feet. You can close your eyes over for a second in this pose. Feel the strength your feet provide you in these standing poses. All day we walk on them, but do we feel them? Exhale, I want you to spin that back foot open. So I'm just going to turn around for you. So it's parallel to the back of the mat. Here we are, heel to heel alignment, or heel to the inner arch of your back foot. So that's the alignment for them. The legs are a little wider than warrior one. Arms come out, extend. Gaze over that front hand. Now I'm a bit injured, hence why I'm not digging too deep into my warrior, but if you can, each inhale, your upper body lifts a little out of your ribs. Lift a little out of that heaviness. And exhale, deepen. Extend your arms, feel your triceps working. Feel your fingertips. A whole body scan we can get in yoga. And exhale, cartwheel your hands, framing that front foot. I'm just going to turn around for you. Framing that front foot. And we step the front foot back to meet your left foot. And we're in high plank. Watch those wrist creases. Spin your your upper arms, spin in. So out and in. And exhale, lower down. Shifting the weight forward. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Untuck the toes. Magnetize the elbows. Cobra pose. And exhale, press the earth away. Lift up those hips, down dog. I want you to take one big inhale. And when you exhale, we're opening our mouth, making a sound. Inhale. Exhale. Quiet your breath now. Bring your feet together at the back of the mat. Left leg rises to the sky. Inhale, tuck that knee in. We're going to place it on the inner side of your left hand. Lower your back leg. Arms come up all the way up. Asana. So the top half of our body again is in our warrior one or our Tadasana. Now bottom half is in Asana, crescent lunge. Now, usually I teach this pose as a back bend, so we eventually bend our back. Today I'm looking at how we can create strength in the basics. So I want you to try and focus on a straight spine. Hands can come to heart center if that's better. Straight spine and upper body. We can lean further in with Asana, opening up your left hip. Arm variation up to you, my friends. Hands at heart center, above you, on your hips. I want you to close your eyes over if you found your balance. Exhale now, if your hands are not, hands to heart center. And I want you to twist close to your left. So our right tricep will be on our left thigh. I'm going to turn around for you guys. Twisting open. You might hear a few back cracks, that's beautiful. If not, that's so fine. I want you to create a fist with your left hand, press it into your right and use it to open up your chest a little bit further. This is Pravita Asana, or rotated crescent lunge. When we do our twisting poses, we imagine our body as a ring cloth. And as we twist, we're wringing it out. And as we let go, our blood circulation has an opportunity to flow freely. It kind of releases any toxins we might have stored. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Tuck that back foot, lift it up. So our back leg is in our plank pose. And I want you to really plant that right arm under your right shoulder blade. And open up your left arm to the sky. So we're still in our twisted position. Focusing on creating one straight spine. So lift that back leg, don't let that thigh drop, lift it up. And create one central channel from our tailbone to the crown of our head. Use that front leg as an anchor. You're doing so well, you guys. Exhale, arm comes to the ground, lower the back leg, straighten that front leg. Sit back on your back heel, or if you want, you can untuck that back toe and sit back on it. And we're just gonna go into a bit of a forward fold to release that front leg, okay? With our forward folds working not to bend the spine, working to fold our tummy over our thigh. Beautiful. Exhale, bend that front leg again. And we're gonna take the front leg back to meet your back leg. Press your hips up, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. Inhale, right leg, to the sky. Keeping your hips squared, work on keeping your toes facing the earth. Inhale, tuck the knee. Place it next to your hand, your right hand. Exhale, lower that back leg. Lift up your hands, lift your upper body. Anjane asana, crescent lunge. Again, working on the central channel. And if you find your balance, you can close your eyes over. Focus on your breath. Inhale, lift a little higher in your upper body, lifting out of your ribs. Exhale, deepening the lunge, opening up that left hip. Using your feet, both the top of your back foot and the bottom of your front foot, they're your base. It's where we begin and where we return. Exhale, hands to heart center, rotating so our left tricep comes to our right thigh. We're opening up, back to our ring cloth. If you want, right hand can become a fist, pressing away your left to increase the tension between your tricep and your thigh. They should have equal, what's the word? You know what I'm saying. Exhale, releasing the hands to the floor. Lift that back leg, so tuck the toes, lift it up. Back in the plank position. Work on keeping that thigh up. It's going to want to drop. Keep it up. Place that left arm down, directly under your shoulder, and we peel open our right hand to the sky. Working to stack the shoulder blades on top of one another. Engage the back leg. Find your central channel. All the way again from the crown of your head down to your heel. And exhale. Lower that back leg. Sit back on that back leg. Either heel tucked or not, up to you. And forward fold. Beautiful work, you guys. We're going to shift our weight back forward and we're going to bring the right leg back to meet the left. Now we're in tabletop. Coming to stack your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And we're going to thread the needle. So we're flossing out our spine. We're going to take our left hand. We're going to thread it under our right. Not moving our lower body, just our upper body. Head on the ground. Exhale, pressing up. Switching sides, right arm comes under left. Head is facing the left. Inhale, lifting up. And continue at your own pace. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower. slow, controlled movements here, you guys. Just 2 more on each side. Again, this flosses our spine. So just like our other twisting poses, our spine has so much flexibility. But if we're never doing movements that use it like this, why will it keep this function? So we must floss it. Back in tabletop. We're going to sit back on our feet with our feet untucked. So we're directly on our heels. And we're just going to walk our hands back behind us, fingers facing the front of your mat. And we lift our hips a little if you want. We're working to stretch out the thighs. But this is just a good, I guess, body opener. We've been quite closed in these poses, so we open ourselves up. Open up our heart space. And eventually in this pose, we can walk all the way back and lie down. But if you can't and you're not there, like me, we stay here. We don't want our knees lifting off the ground. So you meet yourself where you're at. Working not to crunch in the lower back, so keep that tummy tucked. And exhale, lifting back up. We're going to go into Bandha Konasana, or bound angle pose. So bring your feet together. Knees out wide. Now, in a class, if we had props, I'd be getting you to try and support your knees, because it's not about the knees pushing open. We don't want that pressure, okay? But since we don't, I just want you to pay attention. Make sure you're not pressing too hard down, okay? So we've got about a forearm's length between the base of our heels and our groin. And as we let go, we begin to walk forward with our arms, and we meet ourselves again where we're at, working for our straight spine, but we're opening up our hips. Close your eyes over if you'd like. Then we connect back to our breath. I think what I love about a cool down is it reminds us that there are always going to be moments in life where we must work hard, where we'll feel uncomfortable, where we'll be pushed. But these moments of calm will come back. So in yoga or any kind of exercise, we create that cycle for ourselves. And it keeps us strong, mentally and physically. So I really want you to thank yourself for just doing this today. Inhale, slowly rise up. We're going to extend our legs in front of us. We're going to shift our weight, and we're going to lie all the way back. And we're going into happy baby pose, which is one of my favorite. So knees come up like all the way into your chest so that you can grab the outer edges of your feet. So your arms are on the inside of your legs, but your hands are on the outside of your feet. Your feet are flexed. And it's as if we're, again, equal pressure. You're pressing up into your hands and your arms are pulling you back. So we're creating a baby. And just want you to rock gently back and forth, side to side, massaging the lower back. And now just let go of any pressure. Your arms will still need to hold, but let go of the pressure from your legs. Bring the knees into your chest, and I want you to hug yourself. Hug your chest. So we're one little ball. Our fetus position. Now you might feel some tension in the top of your hips. Try and breathe into that space. Let go of what's being held there. Let it release. And it might not be today, but know that it will. Exhale, releasing the legs to the ground. Actually, keep your left leg up for me. We're going to go into a supine twist. So knee is at a 90-degree angle. Arms come out wide like a T. I want your palms on the earth, so not facing up, they're grounded. Our shoulder blades are grounded, and we just drop that knee over to the right. If you want, you can take your right hand and hold that left knee down, but it's important that our shoulder blades remain on the ground. So if your knee doesn't reach the earth, that's so okay. Mine doesn't either. Head can roll over to the left. And again, we're creating a twist in the spine. And exhale, bring that knee back up, lowering that leg, and we switch legs. So right leg comes up, 90-degree angle. We roll it over to the left, head rolls to the right. Oh, I got some good back cracks. Hope you guys did. Take a moment to notice your feet. Something all of us might take for granted. Exhale, lowering that right leg down to the ground. Legs can open up a little, so they're a little wide. Feet drop wherever they sit. Mine go out, but sometimes they're straight. Hands come down either side of you, palms facing up. Tuck in your shoulder blades just a little so your heart space is open. Close the eyes. Take one deep inhale all the way to your belly. And exhale, melting into the ground, letting your muscles relax. Moving into Shavasana. Last pose. And listen to your breath. And you find the mind's eye, a space you slip into just before you sleep. That's where we're going. And to get there, we just focus on breath and let go of the rest. And when you're ready, we begin to wake ourselves up. Bring yourself back to where you are. As you deepen your breath, we'll find a comfortable seat and keep your eyes closed. Hands come to heart center. And take a moment to really thank yourself for giving yourself space and time to remember who you are and what you're capable of. Thank you so much for practicing with me today and sharing your practice with everyone. Namaste.